get us going. And we'll work with some of this, the condensing and the her and the kai. I want to say this. Okay, see you later, Susan.
Thank you.
So the last thing I want to say on from last week is we've talked about her as this condensing and kai as separating. And I came across my notes where John talked about, think of kai too as disperse. So, and the thing about how disperse works with the sponge-like quality is kai seems to be like this. We're really separating something, like when we do the splitting. Dispersing is just a much broader spherical phenomena. And I think it associates in my mind as a lighter kind of contact point. So just use, that's maybe a word that would be useful to draw on a little bit with what we do. Okay, so let's stand up and we'll do some silk reeling. And this silk reeling primarily comes from the Chen family. The Chen are often associated with the very beginnings of Tai Chi, and they're kind of the founding fathers. And this is the practice they give the kids to do, and we get everybody kind of inoculated into Tai Chi by doing this kind of thing. So we're gonna do a couple of these, and the first one of this is called one hand out, circling out, outward circle, outward circle. So, and this one, so I'm going to turn here, and then my hand is going to roll out. It does roll back in through here, but the place that we're interested in is right here, where it rolls out. Just turn, outer circle, one hand outer circle. We'll do 10 or 15 reps just to feel this in your body. See if you can do this by turning your waist. And what I'm doing with my elbow, if you see my elbow here, I'm kind of pulling it forward, which has an effect of keeping my back open. So I'm pulling the off elbow forward. The other thing is, as I open, I don't open and leave the hand behind so much. As you get more connected, you can leave it more and more behind, but really I want you to kind of stay close to the channels here. So turning, opening outward, and smooth. Just notice where your body feels like it's not reeling silk, and slow down and connect through there. So we're reeling silk, right? And I'm really reeling from my middle finger, connecting that way. So this is kind of scooping here, and this turns and rotates and goes out. This is the outer circle. One hand outer circle. This is standard operating Tai Chi. Ben did not do this, but pretty much if you go anywhere in the world and you don't have, this is one thing that many places will have in common, and you can communicate with people by doing this. Okay, let's try this one. Outer circle. Outer circle. Just switched hands. Outer circle. It's slightly different on this side. See if you can connect it all the way down to your feet and waist. You're not just waving your hand locally in the air. You do your turning from your feet bottom, using your feet bottom, turning your waist. The knees are very stable. Okay, and that's the outer hand. Now we'll do the inner hand. scoop through here. Each one of these has an inner and outer aspect to it, but the main focus here is this inward motion. Oh, here we go. Wait, oh, this way. Sorry. Draw it in. Now we're going to go to two hands outer circle. So we'll start with just the outer circle here. One hand doing this outer circle. So I'm going to come through here. This left hand will do outer circle. Right hand outer circle. Some of you this feels a little bit like cloud hands. So this one is going out, this one is in here. As one hand falls, the other rises. So try to keep these all about 180 degrees off of one another. Let's see if I can do the inner circle. Okay. Outer, inner. So we'll just start with this one, inner circle. Draw in. I'm having trouble with this. There we go. Right. Shake your hands out. And then this one will be both hands together, and we'll come, so shift into your left foot, or either way, it's going to be fine, however you want to look at me on the computer. And then we're going to open, and then round down and connect in front of the body. Open out, come in, open out, come in. This feels like the second Qigong a little bit. A few more on this side. Come out to the other side. Okay, now we're going to start with hands here, and we're going to turn and draw in. Suck in. The inner circle, two hands inner circle, draw in. Draw in. So feel rotation all the way through your body continuously. Try the other side. Draw in. Okay. I just want to finish. I want you to put your hands on your dantian. I want you to connect your lao gong, and I want you to circle around dantian. Go the other way. Your mind connect from the lao gong right into dantian. Circle that sphere in your belly. Okay, all right. I want to do the spinal qigong set today too. And so if you're feeling any tension, any pressure up in your shoulders, do it lower. So do these lower. Yeah, so you don't have to come up, but try to do the whole practice with your mind. It's just that the arm will travel a little less long, okay? So just stand in the Wu Chi posture to begin. Remember, open your hands, open your fingers, see if you can get the energy. So you have 5 little endpoints of energy. These are really strong, powerful ones, these guys. Even that one's pretty strong. This is probably my weakest. This guy right here, the ring finger. Balance the energy there. So I would say balance the energy in the fingers by leading with your weakest point. I'm just curious, Randall, are your fingers pretty evenly balanced from trumpet playing?
They seem to be.
Wow, cool. I bet they are, yeah. So you might not have a weakest link in your fingers. I certainly do. And so, but just try to balance the energy in the fingers. You have to subtract maybe from the big powerful guys and add to somebody else. Or you can start practicing the trumpet, your choice. Just relax. Remember keeping this area under the armpits and the midriff. Imagine you have a dance partner holding you right through here. Just relax. Don't relax. See if you can relax your body, not collapsing onto the body. Same thing in the legs, not collapsing in, but open. And just stand in the upright posture. See if you can feel your zongding between your feet. Feel the zongding between your feet, how it extends up through the body, through your head top. Just align, let your mind set on that. And then let the superstructure of your body, let the skeleton just rest on that. And let the tissue relax completely. So if the big muscles of your legs open and let go, that's good. Abdomen, chest. Keep the tongue connected to the upper palate. The gaze be soft. Let the energy extend out of the fingertips, balanced in the fingers. If you can feel the same thing in your toes, that's the ideal. See if you can open your toes. See if you can open your toes. Balance the energy coming out of your feet into the toes if possible. Much harder thing for humans. And then entrain your mind on the speed of your breath. Well, with the next exhalation into the ground, sink down. And like you're pulling taffy from your fingertips, pull the energy up your back to the neck, to the head top, and then down the front like you're reeling silk. Up the back. So the first part of this is just to get your mind to travel on the surface of the body, up the back, down the front, under the feet, continuously like reeling silk. A secondary level is here all the joints opening up, here all the joints kind of gathering in. So there's this yin and yang quality in the joints. And what I'm going to say about that, there's a spiraling that happens. Here the spiral is in. Here it goes out. Makes a parabola and comes back in. Goes out. So if you can connect with all of these levels, you need a soft mind to do this. Just feel for, and say feel first for your mind continuously traveling. And then feel the joints and the spirals existing underneath that framework. We'll go on to the next one. Gather everything in. Now this is more explicit with the opening of the joints. Here the mind will sink from the surface of the body, the skin, down toward the bones, especially in this yin cycle here. Opening. I'm getting just a little bit of background noise. It's I did not mute everybody. If you have background noise going on, thank you. Just draw it in. So here the spirals are in, and then they go out. And this is a good place to play with kind of gathering your mind and then letting your mind disperse and gather it again. When it completes its gathering, kind of disperse it there as well. So there's these little letting go moments. They might also show the buoyancy in the body, but also the mind. Bounciness. The pelvis is in continuous motion. It's another thing to think about in this one. Feel motion, put some mind in your legs. So the legs need to be continuously moving. One part moves, the whole part moves. So if you feel like your arms are just swinging on their own, you need to become a little bit more refined. Feel for the legs running continuously, opening and gathering. I want to focus today on, as we open, I want you to feel pulling into earth from your coccyx. So it's like somebody's pulling down from below your feet on the coccyx and straightening it. And then the coccyx comes back again. And then pulling from the coccyx straightens us up. Okay. I'm just going to mute everybody so it's just a little less noisy. Come here. Okay. I want to look at the next one, and I want to look at this with a new kind of an idea. I'm going to show you from my back to do this. So we finished this guy here, kind of, and we're going to adjust our foot out. I want you to sink here. I want you to sink so much so that you pull the empty foot heel off the ground. So this is sink, 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 sink to here. And then I want you, with your mind, pull the heel down. See how what's happening on my lower back, pulling down, straightening me. So I'm like, imagine somebody's in the floor back there and it's pulling on my heel this way to lengthen me out. There's also some guys up here above my head, and they're pulling me from above. So I'm on the rack. I'm getting pulled in two directions, okay? So we begin this by sink, sink, sink until the right heel becomes free. And then instead of moving your arm, I want you to pull from the heel in your head top. And the fingers go out. Pull from the finger in the head top. Can you guys feel? Oh, yeah, I've got the mute on. Okay. Let's go to the other side. Sink down until you're so far sunken that you pull the energy out of the heel and the hands in front. So the hands like this. And then as I'm going to pull from my heel and head top, and that's going to move my hand. I'm going to come down, let the heel come off the ground. Pull the heel down. So there's no local action in the arm. So sink, 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 sink until the heel's off, and then open. Sink to the other side, sink, 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 sink till the heel's up. Then pull from the heel to open. Sink to the other side. I just want to get some feedback. I'm hoping that is a little bit of a game changer. Okay, where's my cursor? There it is, I think. No, there. Okay. So let me hear from you. Can you guys, is that a little different?
Yes.
You see how pulling from those directions is going to motivate the hand in front of the body?
Yeah, it's very helpful, Bill.
And
Good.
that exercise we do where we're, you know, anchoring the one hand and coming up, it's going to help me a lot with that one, I think.
Yeah.
I was thinking about sinking the heel down, but I wasn't so much thinking about the head top being pulled.
Yeah. So this is like, we're pulling, this is shoot the arrow. What happens when a bow and arrow, so when we nock an arrow, when we pull the arrow back, the bow goes under pressure. The ends kind of come down. When we release it, the ends pull in two directions. They pull up and pull down. And that's what generates power out. That's what puts the energy in the fingertips, in the hand that's in front of the heart. And I want you to give up on trying to do this with your arm or hand completely. Just like trust your body, trust the connection in your body to make this happen in the hand. And that'll be good. So looks like it may just be the three of us. So,
No,
so this,
there's four.
I think the end went somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, look at the yin phase, and Anne said this great, like the lower hand anchors and the heel comes up. And so, and you'll know, okay, everything's out of that leg, the heel's airborne. And then just that distance between the heel being up and the heel being pulled down. That's Gumbien as well. Do you see that, Anne, in particular?
Yeah,
do you see
well,
that?
it's Gumbien in two directions because the heel's being pulled down and the head top's coming up, right?
Exactly. It's Gumbien in two directions. You're being pulled, your mind is out at two peripheries and it's pulling you that way. Does that sound familiar, Gumbien, Randall?
Yes.
It's that place where after we do the jumping rope in the right peacock, and instead of like pushing our body away from it, as we back up, the Gumbien is kind of pulling us open in front of ourselves. And in that place, the Gumbien is in the ground somewhere. And in this one, it's in the ground at the heel, and then it's above our head, pulling the head top open. Yeah, what time we got? Okay. So I guess I want to work just a little bit on the her and Kai.
Hey, Bill?
Yeah. Yes.
I just thought of something. So when you started our hour, you were talking about, I know, here it is. You were talking about dispersion. You were talking about, and so as we're focusing on the heel, hand, Gumbien connection, how does dispersion, because that feels like it's more focused. It feels like it's.
Yeah, and I would say in that situation, disperse is not really the optimal idea to have. I would say keep your attention kind of doing this, pulling like this. So that's not really dispersion. That's something else.
All right.
Dispersion would be in back fist, for instance, like this, Randall. So dispersion would be here where I'm condensing and then boom, let it go. So I want to condense here, and I'm just gonna let this wave go out. So it's much more, that's where this, that's kind of how I want to do this anyway with this dispersion. Look at her and Kai in this situation.
Okay. Thank you.
In this one, we're really staying connected. Right here, when we complete, there's a moment of dispersion right there. And then we rush back in to do the yin. And then yin completes, and there's this kind of this dispersion, and then there's the intention that pulls us apart. And when that completes, there's a dispersion at the end. There is dispersion still at those points, but it's not active in the gumbien. So when we do skipping rope here, I'm being pulled to right about here. Then there's dispersion. So at the end of this kind of being pulled apart, can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm getting some funny sounds. So as this happens here, it's like the taffy's getting thinner, 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 and then there's like, poof, it goes away. So
In the
yeah.
is that, I hope this doesn't sound stupid, is that where yin and yang combines then, where it disperses?
John would say it's the yin within there. The yin, it's like it's the seed of the opposite starting over. So when you see the big Tai Chi symbol,
Yeah.
it has the big black area, and then the big white area. And within each one of those areas is a small little dot. One is a white dot and one is a black dot. So that's that moment of equipoise, or sometimes John has used things like it's the yin within the yin.
Oh.
So it's like mine. Boom. It just goes open for a moment. And it's like it pops open. And then there's this rushing in that happens after it. I mean, it's like there's no vessel anymore. There's no vessel. And suddenly the vessel is there again. So when we do this,
I'm sorry. Would you say that at that moment in time, at the moment of dispersion, there really is no yin or yang?
yes, I would say it's the quiet, it's Wu Qi. It's the moment of all possibility. It's the moment of there's no differentiation. And then it has its moment. I don't know, it's kind of like a bubble popping. You know, the popping of the bubble is the disperse point. And you might say all the energy is lost or gone or something like that. But then I would say, that's the moment for the new creation to start coming on.
But could it be then like a pause in music?
It's a little bit like a pause. I mean, you know, or it might be the space between the notes too, and how exquisite you manipulate. I mean, Randall could talk about this way better than I could. It's the spacing between the notes that kind of creates the beauty a lot of times. It's making the note, certainly, but then giving it the proper space around it, you know. Yeah, it's a moment of quiescence. I definitely, it's the turnaround point, you know. So when we jump rope, there's this massive cascading tsunami, and then we're getting this stretched out quality, goes away, and then something reconvenes, and we pull it in. So there's moments where in the practice, we're playing with our mind, we're developing it, we're making it as real and tangible as possible, and then we want to let it go. We want to let that go, and then something comes back in this reformed. I mean, I think it's what gives buoyancy and that flexibility and that openness. Looks like we might have lost Anne somehow.
Oh, I was on the floor.
Okay. But I just want to work with this in terms of this her and Kai. And so let's just do this little bit together. Well, we just have a few minutes. And if you just, so stand in your left foot and maybe bring your right foot ahead and pull your body into the right foot. As you pull your body into your right foot, feel this kind of condensing. So the Zongding is here on the back foot. Now I'm going to pull my Zongding onto the front foot. As I do this, there's going to be this condensing. And then just let it go and just let it disperse. Then that secondary wave will come on. Just do it again. Just let it disperse. So sink in. You can do this something like this. You can pull in. This is what I'm saying, back fist. Pull in, condense. Elbow is real quiet. So the hand is doing a circle here. There's this condensing. And then just let it go. Your mind open. It'll reach a point where if you don't kind of turn it around, you'll just run out of momentum and stop. So I would say just sort of find the natural circularity of this. Your mind open, 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 dispersing. Pull again. So this is split and pluck. I'm sorry, pluck here and split. This is the U and G. Yin and yang. Yin. Let's try the other side. And so I'm really going to suggest have your mind. Okay, my body's back here. I want to put my mind here and condense my body to it. See how it pulls my Zongding to it? So my body is going to follow where the mind wants it to go. Okay, so I'm out here. Condense here. Condense it right on this side, and the body will kind of go to it. When I do that, the elbow isn't kind of going like this. The elbow is staying quiet, and this is this plucking action. Plucking is, I say, pluck the back, pluck the chest, fill the back. This is Liu sucking in, and then this is going out. This is roll back, Dian, and this is pressing out energy. This is second Qigong, gathering and extending. And it has this other aspect to it, condensing and then just dispersing. Condense. And so it's like, when I'm thinking about this, I'm condensing my mind right about here. Condense, boom. Yeah, so so how fast is martial arts? It's as fast as your mind. Speed of your mind. And what's required for a fast mind is looseness, sung. It's kind of relaxed. So if you have a real stiff body, you're going to be slow. So not only do we want to cultivate a loose body, not loose morals, but a loose body and a loose mind, a relaxed condition. Condensing. So at the end of condense, feel this wave just go out. That's the Kai. Feel that wave take off. Another way to do it is just pull and push. This is a little less beautiful. You can pull in. This is roll back. This is roll back. Just connecting and rolling back. Somebody's pushing on me. Sure, go ahead. You roll back. Cheng said, people said, well, what does Yang style have? He goes, we got roll back. And he said, roll back is invite them in. So what does invite them in mean? He means bring them toward your center. Lure them toward your center. Lure somebody toward your center, then show them the door. Invite them in. They don't get to stay for tea. You show them the door. Get somebody thinking they have your center and then displace them off your center. It's a trick. I mean, but it's also, you have to have a very clear idea and a very deep sense of where your center is. And this is the thing about using the mind, the exhalation, to go deeper. At first they say Zongding is like this big fat tube, big and stupid. That's what Wang Ho Da called it, big and stupid. As it becomes more intelligent, it becomes more thread-like. It's got depth. It's got depth, and it becomes like steel. So this is why we practice all these things on the Zongding. This is why we practice with the Zongding. We want our awareness really quiet and understood on the Zongding, so that this is how good players play with push hands. You connect, okay, you push me, you push. You think you have my center? No, you don't. It feels that they get reads like, and what happens when they feel like they have their center? They're overcommitting, and then they get thrown. So, or easily displaced. And Randall, this is the 4 points deflect 1,000 pounds.
Say again.
This is where the 4 points deflect 1,000 pounds. Or 4 ounces deflect 1,000 pounds. So this push is 1,000 pounds looking for your center. I'm staying, I'm giving ground, I'm yielding right on time to maintain that 4 points. When they feel like they have me and I turn, all they feel is the four ounces, and they're displaced. They don't know they're displaced yet. So this is this idea of connecting lightly to something. And this is why we want depth. We don't want to be a wall to something. We want our mind to be able to go inside quietly. Okay, so I think that's going to be it for today. What time is it? It's 11:52. Are there any questions? There's no bad questions.
I just sent you a message in chat there because I've been leaving and coming back a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my husband had spinal surgery, so I've had to, dash off in a system with all kinds of stuff here.
Oh, I see.
What I discovered while this class was going on, and I helped him get up and move and walk a bit, I used the principles that you've been teaching and felt more anchored, more stable than I had before. So they really have practical implications.
Good. Yeah. I've leaned on Tai Chi when I really was in trouble. I mean,
yeah.
When I needed a friend, I leaned on Tai Chi. I wasn't really mature enough to really lean on anything else at the moment. But practices like this can help you and sustain you. And I just think Tai Chi is not an end in itself. I think it's a way of encouraging an openness in our whole being. It's not about fighting, or I mean, it has all those points of reference, I guess. but it's a way of encountering your human potential.
Mhm.
And that feels really good.
Does.
All
I
right,
think it
yeah.
builds into our lives in lots of different ways.
It influences our lives in lots of different ways. I think you're right. And I would say you can tell a practice is starting to, when practices start sinking into your mundane life, then it's real. It's starting to happen. That's why you need to practice enough. So Sogyal Rinpoche, at the beginning, you practice a little and you take many breaks. And then he goes, but you practice during the breaks. You know, and so after a while you start, trying to take something down from a shelf above your head and you go, oh, I should relax my shoulders probably.
Yeah,
And
I do that.
think my elbows. And so, I mean, it's helped me with posture, definitely. And but any of your insights are really appreciated. And I know a lot of you have really deep experience. I'm really interested in it too. And I think your fellow students and colleagues are as well. So feel free to share at any time, either by email or here if you want. It helps. It really helps us.
Great platform for sharing.
Yeah, it is. It's a good platform.
Thank you very much.
You are so welcome. Yes.
Thank you.
Just covered.
Hopefully tomorrow morning.
Oh, you're going to see. All right, Ann. Great. Thank you. All right. See you kids later. You out-of-staters. Stay well.
You
Thanks,
too.
Bill. Bye.
Bye-bye.